Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. I'm Adam and some transfer talk is in for you. Now earlier when I did the preview for the West Ham game, I didn't expect to be live again. I've been out having a meal with the family, get back in, jump on Twitter and I see that Tottenham have bid for Anthony Martial. Tottenham have bid for Anthony Martial. Now first things first, why would Martial want to take a step down? But let's get onto that later on anyway. Manchester United have rejected this bid for Anthony Martial from Tottenham. Now, first of all, Anthony Martial needs to stay at Manchester United. And I'm glad to see Manchester United have knocked back bids for him. We've heard of a loan offer from Inter Milan with an option to buy. And now we're seeing Tottenham sniffing around Anthony Martial, trying to get him. Now, I've heard people say it was a £25 million bid, which is absolutely disrespectful if that was the case. But I doubt it was as low as that. Because £25 million for one of the best young players in the Premier League, you are absolutely taking the piss. So I doubt there's anything in that £20 million bid for him. But nevertheless, Spurs have bid for Martial. Now these are the reports in France. And it's coming from that chap, Mohamed Boufassi, on Twitter, who's seemingly quite clued up in terms of French players and French football. But this is a report on two English sides and obviously our French player. Now he says Tottenham bid for Martial, bid rejected by Manchester United. And then you look at the Independent report who have said Tottenham have had a bid rejected for Anthony Martial. According to reports in his native France, the 21-year-old's forward's future at Man United has been in doubt this summer, with Jose Mourinho preferring wide players that will play more defensive discipline than the French international. His name came up in transfer talks with Inter when United were trying to secure the signing of Ivan Perisic, and Spurs have now made a concrete offer for Martial's services, according to RMC Sport, which is where that chap Buffas is from. So, Tottenham have denied that an offer has been made, is what the Independents say. But the Independent understands that there is genuine interest in the Frenchman. Now, if Manchester United were to sell Anthony Martial to one of our rivals, they would be fucking stupid. And secondly, if Manchester United were to let Anthony Martial leave the club, they would be fucking stupid. There's no way Manchester United should be letting go of Anthony Martial. And the treatment of Anthony Martial by Jose Mourinho has been the one thing that has really bothered me. Probably the only thing of Jose Mourinho's tenure which has bothered me. Here we have a massively talented young player who came to the Premier League in his first season, tore it up for United, found it difficult in his second season, but then when he did play well, he wasn't played continuously. He wasn't starting consistently. He's been in and out of the side. Doesn't start the big games. You look at the Super Cup final, he didn't start. Why? Now, I love Jesse Lingard, but Anthony Martial is so much more talented than him. Why isn't Anthony Martial playing? Now, people will say, like the Independents say, because of his defensive discipline. Now, if Jose Mourinho doesn't play Anthony Martial a winger because of his defensive discipline, then that is really disappointing. Now, recently, one of my old tweets has started to be retweeted, and it says something along the lines of, Jose coaches the flair out of players. Jose has done that with Arjen Robben, well, tried to, and he kind of done it with Eden Hazard, and we saw how Eden Hazard played in Jose's final season. Now, I think Jose's done a fantastic job here at Man United. He's got my full backing, and I want him to succeed as manager, and I think we will succeed this season. But Anthony Martial needs to be in this fucking team. It is that simple. He's too talented to be sitting on the bench. He's too talented to just be a substitute. He needs to be in the team. It's that simple. And if United are going to keep him on the bench, then he may as well go and tear it up elsewhere, because he's too good to be on the bench. He's too good to be on the bench. And we've seen him this pre-season. He's looked good. He's looked strong. And if Anthony Martial doesn't start for United against West Ham, I would be disappointed and a little bit worried, to be honest. Because this is a boy that needs to be playing games. He needs to be starting week in, week out to be developing on his potential. And also, I feel like if you start Anthony Martial in 40 games a season, he will get you 15 plus goals at least, which is more than what anyone else has got in his position. So why don't we play him? We need to start playing Anthony Martial. And then this would stop all this ridiculous interest. How do we know this interest isn't being talked about in France by the player's agent, so that the club come out and say, yo, we want you to start, we want you to play. Because teams want him. Martial's a talented player, and I have no doubts he will go on to be a success and be a fantastic player. But that needs to be at Man United. And if it isn't at Manchester United, we've only got ourselves to blame, and we've only got Jose Mourinho to blame, unfortunately. Siddharth says, are we not nurturing and wasting Martial's talents by not playing him regularly? If he doesn't play regularly this season, then yes. Because it's not like this is a player that needs to go out on loan. He needs experience. He doesn't need experience. He needs to be playing for Man United. It's that simple. Jose afraid of him getting 2 times better than what he is and ending up at Madrid. I doubt that would be the case, Dean. I genuinely do. Particularly how we're going on with Madrid at the moment. He has more goals in him than most, says Darren. F Spurs, says Dr. Trolley. Martial's agent needs to go, says Dan. His agent has actually came out a few times and said Martial doesn't want to go anywhere. But what I'm saying is, it may be that frustration there. Now, I think Martial will start tomorrow because I don't think Lingard played extremely well against Real Madrid. He didn't play well at all. So I think Martial should now come in and take his place. But if he's not in the starting lineup, then you do start to worry. Callum says winger or up top. I think he can occupy either of those positions, out on the left or up front through the middle. Now, obviously, with us signing Lukaku for £75 million, Anthony Martial isn't going to be getting his minutes mainly down the middle. But through the left, he can do, and he can still tear it up there. We saw what he did against Real Madrid. That's what was so, confusing to me. We saw him tear Real Madrid a new hole, and then he didn't start against them in the Super Cup. Why? He didn't even come on as a substitute. Why? Why is this happening? He needs to be trusted, just like Pavster says in the comments. Now, my ultimate feeling is I'm delighted that United have rejected this bid. I'm delighted United have rejected bids throughout the summer. And if Mourinho really did want Ivan Perisic, and he wanted Perisic more than Martial, I'm sure he would have taken the deal. But United can't be letting Martial go. We need to be playing this boy at the club. We cannot be letting him go to a Premier League rival, that's for sure. And people talk about Perisic coming in, this, that and the other. Martial's better than Perisic. Fucking play him. It's that simple. Play Anthony Martial and he will deliver. Play him consistently. He will become the player he's supposed to be. Stick him on the bench. He isn't going to be the player we believe he can be. The player that we've bought him to be. We need to get the best out of him. And the only way we're going to be doing that is by playing him and putting some confidence in him. Putting your arm around his shoulder. Come on. Let's see Martial. Because if we get the best out of this player, we're going to have one of the best players in the league on our hands. And there's no wonder other teams are sniffing around. But Spurs, go fuck yourselves. You're mad if you think Spurs are going to be taking Anthony Martial. But that is the reports in France tonight, guys. For you guys that are joining us late, the reports are that there's been a bid for Anthony Martial by Tottenham Hotspur. Now, the Independent are saying Spurs have denied that, but there is concrete interest from Spurs there. But United have knocked back this offer, according to the reports in France, which is great to hear as well. Cook says Martial, Lukaku and Mickey should be the front three. And I totally agree. That's the front three that I've predicted for tomorrow. If you want to see my full preview of the game, you can check it out after this stream. It's obviously on the channel. It's the West Ham vs Manchester United preview. Josh says, what did I have for my meal? We had Italian today. We went to, what's that place called? Prezzo. So I had, what did I have? I had like a chicken breast and some chips. And I had a garlic bread pizza and random other shit. I'm absolutely stuffed now though. Why does Jose play Jesse Lingard over Martial, says Jack? Probably because of the fact that Jesse Lingard works more off the ball. Which again is not the right reasons, but that's what happens, isn't it? Martial and Rashford is ours, says Marzouk. Mr. Killers, thank you for getting involved. Am I watching Match of the Day? I will be watching Match of the Day shortly. Tony Marshall, says Mohammed. And FIFA Gaming HD is also in the comments. Bad Brad says Tottenham can fuck off. Jose says he doesn't do arm around the shoulder. He prefers to squeeze a player, says Bud the Red. And I agree that as well. But why an arm around the shoulder? How about just play him? Forget an arm around the shoulder. Fucking play him. How about that? Play him. regularly. How many appearances did Anthony Martial make last season? It wasn't enough, that's for sure. Let me have a look at this shit. What stats are them? They're not his right stats. Just looking for Martial's stats from this season. Bear with me. 2016-17. He made 18 starts in the Premier League. He started less than half of our Premier League games. That is simply not good enough. He started 4 games in the Europa League. That is simply not good enough either. How can he be starting 22 games in our European and Premier League competitions? That isn't on, and that needs to improve this season. That needs to at least double. He needs to be starting at least 25-30 league games. At least 6 to 7 European games. Fucking play him and he will deliver. Trust me, this boy is a talent. And Manchester United needs to see that. Mourinho needs to see that and not ruin him. Get this boy on the pitch. Tell Tottenham to go fuck themselves. Tell Inter to go fuck themselves. Tell everybody else that comes knocking for Martial to go fuck themselves. And start Anthony Martial. Give him minutes. 18 starts in the league isn't good enough. And that needs to improve this season. And I'm sure it will as well. Because when Anthony Martial gets a chance, if Jose gives him a chance, I'm sure Martial will fucking take it. Anyway, guys, I have been Adam McKola. This has been Adam McKola TV, MUFC Transfer Talk. I'm going to dive into some of your comments now. We're talking Anthony Martial. We're talking a bid from Tottenham Hotspur. Is he going to go? I fucking hope not. United have knocked the bid back. We've knocked a number of bids back. His agent says that he's happy at the club. Ed Woodward says he wants to keep him at the club. Jose says he wants to keep him at the club. But Jose needs to act like it. He needs to play him. He needs to give him minutes on the pitch so that this boy can show his talent. There's a reason why he won the Golden Boy. There's a reason. We saw what he can do for United already. Yes, he hasn't been consistent, but then he hasn't started consistently. We need to start this boy consistently to get the best out of him. Otherwise, we're never going to see that potential fulfilled. We're going to end up letting him go, and he's going to tear it up elsewhere. Now, I know a lot of people say, everyone says about Paul Pogba, going and proving himself elsewhere. But the facts are, Anthony Martial is destined to be as big a talent as that. It's that simple. Because this boy is talented, and he needs to fulfill that at United. This is what Manchester United love. Young, talented players coming through. Attacking players. Players that get you on the edge of the seat. Players that can bust skill off. Players that can beat a defender, stick a defender on his arse, score goals, make goals. Martial's that. Get him in this team. Edwin says Martial will rot at United. I hope that isn't the case. Daniel Levy is a horse as Shiv. Paul Wade says we shouldn't be losing any of the squad we have now. I totally agree with you, mate. Sam says how much money was the bid? I'm not totally clear, but there have been rumours it was 25 million, but I think that's bullshit. It can't have been 25 million, right? If it was 25 million, that's an absolute disgrace. That's for sure. Spurs have made no signings at this moment in time. Which for me, if you saw my Premier League predictions, I put Spurs at 4th. I think they're going to go backwards a little bit this season. I still think they'll get Champions League football. But no signings this season. If they sign Martial, I think it'd be great there. But no signings this season. So I think they're just starting to throw bids out there now, trying to get certain players. Probably have no hope of getting Martial and just trying their luck. Trying to unsettle him maybe. Trying to mix the pot up a little bit. I'm not too sure. But if there's any truth in Martial's future being in doubt at Man United, then Mourinho's an idiot. Because Martial needs to be in his team. This is the only thing I've disliked about Mourinho's whole tenure has been Martial's lack of game time. And I hope that changes this season. Almost 400 people in here at the moment. If you want Anthony Martial to stay at Manchester United, hit that fucking like button. If you're in the house at the moment, hit that fucking like button. We're close to 400 people on the live stream. We're close to 39,000 subscribers on Adam McKola TV. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well. Get subscribed if you're not already. We're 107 away from 39,000. We're 1,107 away from the target of 40k, which we were supposed to meet by tomorrow. We didn't quite make that target, but thank you all for subscribing. If you're a new subscriber, if you're an old subscriber, thank you for coming back. As always, we've got a Liverpool fan in the house, Aaron Curtis. How you doing, mate? Hope you enjoyed that 3-3 draw earlier. Spurs need to pipe down, says ADA. Dean's in the house. Tobias is in the house, says Martial needs a good run of games. Martial's boots are worth 25 mil alone, says Mazai. Paul Miller says like and share. Yes, mate. Do hit that like button and do share the video as well. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already to Adam McKola TV. We're talking Anthony Martial at the moment. My preview for the West Ham game is up already, so you can check that out after this. And I'll have reaction to everything at the game tomorrow. David Lay, thank you for becoming a new subscriber. Rajiv, thank you for the nice comments. I'm an old subscriber, says, what's up, says MU Blaze. I know you are, mate. I recognise your name. Just as Paul Miller's an old subscriber. Mahid's back in the house. Manny Plays is back in the house. And as is Man United God as well. Keep hitting that like button. Keep sharing the video too. We're talking Anthony Martial. We're talking a bid from Spurs, which has been rejected by Manchester United. These are the reports in France, which seem pretty reliable at this moment in time. And if it's the case that it's been rejected, I'm absolutely delighted at that. Manchester United need to tell him, go fuck yourselves. Don't come back in with another bid. Don't come anywhere near it. I don't want to hear anyone talking about Anthony Martial. You know that thing on Football Manager where it says reject all offers? That's what United need to click right now. Reject all motherfucking offers. Strategy.com says Tottenham can't even afford his wages. That's a good point, to be honest. They'd probably have to. Change their wage structure just to fit him in. Mr. Red Devil 018 says check out his videos, so go and check them out. I'll check them out when I get a chance. Vidal's in the house, just as Yorkshire Reds is in the house, and he says Martial is gonna be world class. Utkarsh is back as well. Sayan's got us live today as well. Thank you for joining in. Collagio's just had pizza. Nice one, mate. Same as. Greetings from Chicago, says GB. Thank you for getting involved, mate. Martial to score and kiss the badge tomorrow, says Saeed. That would do me. And on that note, guys, I've been Adam McKola. This has been Adam McKola TV. It's been a quick MUFC transfer talk stream where we're talking Anthony Martial. So make sure you're hitting that like button if you want Martial to stay at Man United. Hit that like button regardless of your opinion, to be honest. Make sure you're subscribing if you're not already. And I'll be back tomorrow with reaction from Old Trafford to hopefully Manchester United picking up 3 points in their first Premier League game. And hopefully Anthony Martial starting and maybe scoring too. That'd do me nicely. Anyway, I've been Adam McKola. I'm out of here.